did you choose?
So I was born and raised Catholic. And then converted to Buddhism 14 years old. 20 years. Yeah, 20 years. Going on 21 years this June.
Nice. Why this religion, and are other religions valid?
Yes. So all the other religions are valid. Why this religion? I was inspired by my grandmother, who led by and through her examples of how she treated people, utilizing this philosophy, the philosophy and methods that the Buddha left for all of us to follow.
What are some of your religious traditions and rituals?
Tradition and rituals.
Mm-hmm.
It in Theravada, it's there's a lot of rituals in Thailand and Vietnam. Rituals surrounding funerals, rituals surrounding chanting, blessings, religious ceremonies, Buddhist festivals. But I don't utilize them. It's because to me it's a waste of time. I assert from, and you see other senior monks do this. There are some monks that don't chant, right? And they go straight to teaching the methods of the Buddha. And that certain rituals and practices are reserved for monastics. And one of the primary was chanting, is because you can see it's very visible. And that is to cultivate memorizing his teachings, memorizing word for word, his instructions, and so on. But however, certain monks, such as myself, do not chant, and instead we take that time to go straight in describing the problem and how to fix the problem.
Do you have any type of scripture or literature that you read and follow, and when were they written?
The Pali Canon, Pali, Pali Canon. It's the original language of the Buddha. Dates back 2,565 years ago.
So, just a heads up, most of my statistics are from Pew Research because that's the only sort of statistics I was able to find regarding like every religion and not specifically like Christian and Catholics. So Pew Research reports that 48% of adults are the same religion as their parents. Do you fall under that statistic?
No, this is a very strange family. This my father's side of the family, paternal side of the family, was Catholic, and the majority of them are. And then my dad does. I don't know what philosophy he veered towards now, and my mom was Buddhist and then converted to Catholic and then back to Buddhism throughout the duration of their marriage. So this family obviously does not fall under that statistics or samples of it.
All right. How does your religion affect daily life?
Oh, it's amazing. I operate through the informed lens of the Buddha on a daily basis, mindfully.
How does it affect your decision making?
Every decision has to be consistent, congruent with the teachings of the Buddha, and within the monastic order, within the rules of the monastic order.
Do your religious views influence your political views, like what you vote for?
Yes.
Um, let's see. Do you mind explaining in what way, or just the next question?
Oh, in what way? In regards to my religious philosophy and view, how that affects my political views.
Mhm.
Let me make sure I get this right. Raja Dasa. Oh man, I gotta go back. I have to go back to my YouTube here. So I gave a talk on my YouTube amongst other Buddhist scholars not too long ago. Let me go back to it. And it was titled, no, not that. Aha, Dasa Raja Dhamma, which is the Buddhist 10 principles for good governance. Dasa Dhamma. Let me see if I can. Oh man. Hmm. Let me pull it back up here. We're approaching this from a academic standpoint. So the 10 royal virtues for good governance. Just give me 1 second here.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, that's a really good article. I just pulled up something that was wow. Um, so in that, you have so the 10 virtues has to do with the duty of the ruler to look after the welfare of the people, food, clothing, other necessities of life. It emphasizes beneficence or sharing, must conduct himself in a private and public life in exemplary manner. And there's the quality of donations or granting privileges by the ruler to those who serve the nation loyally, acknowledging their loyal service and encourage all servants of the public to perform exemplary manner, uprightness, impartiality, composure, non-hatred, should not harbor grievances, non-violence, forgiveness, patience, not revengeful vindictiveness. some of these are quite common sense. When people in
Yes.
positions, yeah, when people are in position of public trust, position of leadership. So um, you see, when we look at leaders nowadays and we look at the wars that they wage, the hidden agendas that they have, um, the two sides of them. It's like it's strange. You look at these leaders and you don't really know who they actually really are. Like, who are you? How do
Mhm.
you operate? What is your take on this? And they're all like supposed to be politically correct. They're all like, uh,
Yeah.
what? It's a straightforward question. So, they've tangled themselves into a bunch of mess with, political ties and political agendas that has nothing to do with the 10 governance that the Buddha has taught. Now, had everyone operate through the lens of the Buddha, then we wouldn't have a lot of issues um, that we're seeing today, especially the three poison in Buddhism, which is the greed, the anger, and the ignorance of the Four Noble Truths. So, this is one direct academic example, one direct clinical example um, of how looking through the informed lens of the Buddha would typically affect not just myself, but other people who wants to vote for the next leader. And I've given extensive talks on this, very passionate talks on this. Yeah, I'm a big thing with leadership.
All right. According to Pew Research, 72% of adults in the U.S. believe religion is important. How important is it to you?
Extremely important. Um, Let me give my reasons why. Without religion, you would have rocket grenade launchers flying behind you while you're trying to meditate, or pray, or go to places of worship, and so on. The commonalities across all religions, and one of the primary functions of religion is to emphasize morals and ethics, and the consequences of such when one does not keep morals and ethics in one's personal life. Um, in Christianity, we have the Ten Commandments. In Buddhism, we have the precept. I'm sorry. Are you on your way? Okay, you take your time. Sorry, that was my assistant. Um,
I'm good.
so you see across the commonalities you see of religions, you see that they put great impression um, in regards to being ethical, being good to one another, trying to not to do harm to yourself, and not doing harm to your neighbors and on to others. So, it is 72%. It's important. So the research emphasizes the importance, but if we counter that with follow-up questions, we would ask, well, how effective is it? And is 72% of the population nation right now following something that prevents them from doing harm to themselves or other people, as we've seen the uh, prevalence of mass shootings, prevalence of victims. Uh, the other day, as I'm writing my book right now, and I went. There is research. There's people that is following K to 12 school shootings, and you just see the numbers go up year after year, and the amount of victims year after year. And I'm just like, I've actually pondered about this greatly over the past 2 weeks, and I wonder, I'm like, I think we're losing the battle. The forces of good versus for forces of evil, that's what we holy men try to do, is keep people to just chill. I don't think they're chilling, and I'm questioning whether or not the effectiveness of religion, the effectiveness of philosophy in keeping people at bay from proliferating human nature of anger and hatred So it's interesting.
Um, has your religion improved or worsened your life in any way?
It's greatly improved the quality of my life. It has helped me withstand the test of time in our society and within my personal life.
Um, have you ever doubted your faith's higher power? How did it affect you? I guess it doesn't really apply. Just have you ever doubted your faith's higher power?
Has not. It's my job to prove the Buddha wrong. It's my job to find the flaws in the teachings. I've yet to have succeeded in that endeavor. It's a very scientific method that he left us, and he left an open door for us to pick and prod, probe, and put it to the test as a hypothesis. He's actually made it very easy for us monks to teach also too, because people will pick and prod. There are people from different religions or atheists or whatever they want to identify with. You know, they'll throw all sorts of curveballs, and this is one of the best religion and philosophy as a teacher or a Buddhist monk to take. Just because no, we don't assert anything. We don't say, yeah, you have to believe in the one great Buddha. Yeah, you have to worship him, and what he says goes. It doesn't work like that. The Buddha says you need to test out my teachings. You need not to take my words for it, straight up. So it's pretty easy. Yeah.
Hmm, very interesting. All right. Pew Research said that 44% of adults say shared religious beliefs are very important to them. Would you consider having a partner with a different religion?
Would I consider having a partner of a different? It would be tough, and we it would be really tough. As a matter of fact, even if you have two Buddhists, you have Buddhists of different. You can have a Mahayana and a Theravada. You can have a Theravada and a Vajrayana. So the two main schools. Well, nowadays the three main schools. But then when you see, research is my thing, because that I've conducted a lot of research, cross sectional, longitudinal cohorts, and when you just look at my country, which is primarily Mahayana, and you take some sample populations and you interview them and you ask them and you listen to them clinically, and you identify existence of depression, anxiety, PTSD, anger, greed, ignorance, and you ask them, and you're like, so do you meditate? And they're like, huh? So all they do is they listen to the teachings of the Buddha but not actually practice it.
Hmm.
It is by and through the practicing that yields effectiveness in seeing what the Buddha want you to see. And when I say seeing, it's not just through your eyes, but actually seeing it with your heart. Do you see suffering within yourself, and do you see suffering within your partner? Because if they have that seeing, that insight, that internalization, they could, uh, a wise, prudent, reasonable person cannot do harm to themselves or their partners. But even again, I mean, even if you have two Buddhists, you would have to screen them carefully, um, within the question design, and see how honest they are when it comes to, great, you're Buddhist, but do you also practice it? And how often? How often do you actually meditate? How often do you, uh, you know, follow the teachings of the Buddha? Because he left instructions on how to treat your wife and husband and save money. Everything that is necessary to foster and nurture a happy, healthy relationship.
Hmm.
But yes, I mean, I would, if I disrobe and choose a partner, it ideally I would like that partner to be Theravadan Buddhist like I am, specifically Theravadan Buddhist. And if I meditate, then hopefully they meditate. Hopefully they meditate as long as I have. Hopefully they have
Mhm.
extinguished the three poison that I have described, and so on and so on. Yeah. It's a whole long list of things to do as a Buddhist. He's made it very fun for us to go down the list, checklist.
Yeah. Actually, my mom's side of the family is Buddhist, and they've always wanted me to uh, come and check it out, but I've just never gotten around to do that.
Hmm.
And this is actually like making me want to consider reaching out to them. Um, uh, Another statistic from Pew Research showed that 46% of the people in the US say that religion solved all or most of their problems. Do you agree? And where would you be if you weren't religious?
46%, you said?
Yes.
Uh, I believe that. That's actually a surprising high number, solving their problems. The follow-up question is how? Because Buddhism teaches the how, whereas most religions only teach the what.
Mhm.
All right. So
Where would you be if you weren't religious? If you have,
where would I be?
yeah, where would you be?
Dead or in prison?
Was that answered before?
I've said that many times. Had I not chosen this path to peace, I would have been dead or in prison. Of which, if you went to jail or prison and you asked them, if they operate on such platforms or anything like that, you will see there's a big deficit of information about on how to live wisely within inmates. So there's no fear of karma when people live life recklessly. There's a big ignorance of the fear of karma, the workings of law of cause and effect.
According to The Independent, more than 1/3 of actively religious people say that they are very happy. Does religion contribute to your happiness, and how?
Are we talking about specifically just Buddhist religion or all religion?
For this statistic, just actively religious. So
Yeah, the practicing of one's faith. I've actually do psychological research that yes, it activates certain parts of their brain, their devotion to their faith, religion, philosophy, does in fact increase their happiness, gives them hope, gives rise to hope. There was an article, I don't believe I saved it, but yeah, I read that they did research on that, and it literally people get like a high off of it. That's why you see people singing and dancing, and they just looks like they're losing their mind, but in a good way. Good. It's just really into it.
yeah.
Matter of fact, there are times where I listen to Christian music, and I was like, wow, that's really uplifting. When people feel down, they should really listen to Christian music because it really gives you hope. Just the words in there are very comforting. That's something
Right.
I will give credit to. I'm probably the only Buddhist monk that listens to Christian music. They're like, what?
Has there been an event that strengthened or weakened your faith?
Yeah. After my rock bottom, it strengthened my faith. which is the passing away of my grandmother and best friend. You know, um, because I always believed that meditation was the answer, and to see senior monks back in my training days, how devoted they are, how committed they are, and how dedicated they are, how diligent and they practiced meditation. You know, I was like, I have to get to that level. If they could do it, I can do it. Even though one could say meditation is difficult starting out. But once you get the teachings down, then things get easier. So, of course, no one exempt praise or blame. No one exempts the ups and downs in life. No one exempts the vicissitudes in life. And as a direct result of inheriting the teachings of the Buddha, life has gotten easier as we know how to deal with them skillfully and wisely.
How does your religion conflict with science?
It doesn't, it concurs. That's what makes it awesome and easy again. You know, is that it's a hypothesis. You're supposed to sit there and ask yourself and measure yourself whether in fact meditation does in fact yields results. If I meditate, do I in fact feel more peaceful? If I meditate, can I trace the root cause of my problem? If I meditate, you know, does it change my hormones levels? Does it change my happiness levels, my endorphins, and so on and so on? You know, these are things that science have just catching up and realize, oh my God, the Buddha was right.
What does your religion believe about the afterlife?
Rebirth. That if you have desire at the moment of death, any sort of desire at the moment of death, you will take unfavorable rebirth. There's 6 realms of rebirths. And of course, if you Google 6 realms of rebirth, it will all pop up. Human realm, ghost realm, animal realm, hell realm, and the gods realm, demigods. It's not like the gods like you got people think. These type of gods, they have an expiration date too, and they will take rebirth also. I'm recording this, so you can go back to it whenever if you miss something.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
But no one can see you; they can just hear you. So.
Okay. So you said that there's 6 realms?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think is the most fundamental aspect of your religion?
Fundamental aspect. The rules. The precept. Keeping the precept. Refraining from lying, killing, stealing, intoxicating substance, sexual misconduct. It's the gift of safety. One must have safety before one can do anything else. It would be difficult to meditate if people are stealing in the temple, lying, killing, cheating, getting drunk in the temple. So in Buddhism we have the threefold training: samadhi, panya, which is morality, cultivation of meditation, cultivation of the heart, and then there's wisdom, panya. And of course, you got to have sila. Sila is always, you got to have that gift of safety. that you give people, that I promise I will not kill, cheat, lie, steal, intoxicating substance. It's foundation.
What do you think is the most unique aspect of your religion?
The fact that a human, any human, can in fact achieve full enlightenment in this particular lifetime.
What are the most common misconceptions about your religion, and what do you want people to know?
There's a lot of misconceptions. Like, do we have to worship the Buddha? Do we pray to the Buddha? These are two things that are most prevalent misconceptions. And then, of course, there's misconceptions about if monks can levitate and the supernatural powers of monks, and and no. So Buddhism emphasizes human effort. Anything that you want to resolve, you must do it by and through human effort. And of course, human effort involves patience, diligence, and practice, determination. There's also the misconception of, do I have to be vegan, or does the Buddhist have to be vegetarian? No, you don't. It's a very chill philosophy, So
Uh-huh.
do whatever you want, eat whatever you like. Don't do harm to yourself or other people. Purify your mind.
All right, so those were all the questions I had. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. Really appreciate it.
Do you have any personal questions yourself? Any sense of curiosity yourself, since your family is Buddhist? For me, off topic.
Off the top of my head, I don't, because I don't know. I also have 5 minutes left of the meeting time because
Sure.
I'm on the Zoom.
Oh, I see it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I see it. I see the timer.
I don't really have any, but it's just like so fascinating because I just interviewed a pastor the other day, and their responses compared to yours are like very different, and it's very surprising. I mean, it's not very surprising to me, but it's just like interesting to find out about that because like my dad's side of the family, we grew up Christian, and so obviously very different teachings, and I don't know, it's just fascinating to me.
The Ten Commandments, got to keep it. Got to keep it. That's one thing that I fully, even though I have dissenting opinions about other religions and specifics in it, the one thing I will concur is, and the one thing you look for in people is that whether they wear a cross or they don't wear a cross, whether they wear any religious symbols or not, you ask yourself is like, are you are you following, would Jesus want you to do this right now? You know what I mean? The way how they respond to life events is very important, and how they do it, and whether or not it is through the informed lens of the God that they believe, it's very important. So down the road, I mean, if I don't know how many more research you're going to conduct or study, but I like to have a conversation with you again, and you tell me, the results of your research, or to share what you have gathered from previous holy people, so that people on my end can kind of see, the fact that you went around conducting these individuals that represent different faith, beliefs, religion, and philosophies. I think it's very interesting. This is the first time where a student asked me and used research, Pew Research, and independent research. So when we have a number to a study, we're able to quantify and qualify what's happening out there. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. I really like numbers. Humans needs numbers to make sense of their world and in the large masses, and to make informed decisions. So I would hope that you would reflect on my request down the road, to put like a meta analysis together, just from all the holy people that you have gathered. I think the whole world can really benefit from what you have collected. These are very straightforward, distinct, and specific questions designed to elicit, facts about, hey, what are you guys all about, and how's this working out for you? But yeah, I really enjoyed this a lot, and I'll be available for you at any time for any follow-up questions that you may have. But thank you,
Okay.
and
Thank you so much.
it's really what is it? It's like 7 a.m. now over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Take care and have a wonderful
Thank
day.
you so
Okay.
much. Me too. I'll
Bye-bye.
definitely reach out to you.
All righty.
Thank you.
Take care. That was a wonderful student, and I have things going on this morning that I have to attend to soon. Um, yeah, I really like answering questions with students. You never know what they're going to ask, especially if they're conducting research in their college. Sometimes they ask stuff, and I'm like, what? I don't think I ever had that moment. um, what you're seeing here is me answering messages on Instagram. So there's a lot of messages every morning. I wake up. Do monks use gentle parenting? Not sure what that means. Monks in this tradition cannot have a family. So, somebody wanted to appear live earlier. Spoily. I'm bringing. Oh, somebody wanted to appear live earlier on Instagram. I have a couple more minutes. No, another one. No, the same one. Okay, so I'm gonna be busy in the next couple of days, laser focused. Oh, I need to get back with Bud, my team of the publisher. I have to answer to him tomorrow. Oh, I told him to stay on top of me and my progress, so it's good to have someone staying on top of you. Even the monk himself needs someone to stay on top of things. Let me see. Mm. We have a prevalence. We have an uptick of mass shootings nowadays. It seems it's like a common thing now. And that's another talk that I was going to give. But I need to reflect on it. It's quite alarming nowadays. It's the shooting of kids is becoming a commonality. Of children dying as a direct result of gun violence is now becoming a very common thing online. It's like you see it nowadays, and it's like it used to be shocking, and now it's just like from a local level and from a national level here in the U.S. Um, and now you have mass shootings in public places, which is, I'm having to go back to the front of my book to add more stuff that's going on in the world, is because this is part of explaining, describing the problem. Um, so, do you believe that the world needs to revive peace? That's what I'm trying to do. That's what we're all trying to do. The actual question is it actually working? You look at the statistics, again, like I cited earlier, I was going through it's on my other laptop. I don't have it here with me. But if you just put history of school shootings in the US, it will come up with a bunch of research and bar graphs and line graphs. And you just see every year the number just go up. But I think 2022, I think the line every other year is like this small. Line graph is like doo, 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 doo. And then like 2022 is like doo, 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 doo. And you look at that and you're like, so the when people have at it on the internet, hate, the messages of hate, spreading hate, all of these human behavior, human cognitions, it's been around for billions of years, is proliferating. And I'm just, the other question I have in my mind as a holy person is that I wonder I wonder if this is a, a continuous losing battle. I wonder if all the work that we have done, attempted to do, is still doing, is kind of like right? And when you start to see this kind of slope go down, next time you're sitting in the mall or something, like, I mean, like, now you have to be very vigilant about things, especially safety in public settings, and the fact that someone can just pull out a gun anytime and start popping rounds at anybody. When you sit, you have to always look at where the exit is in a restaurant, in a mall. So I think down the road in the future, we're going to see the existence of very heavy law enforcement, very heavy security personnel, armed personnel everywhere. I think they're going to actually be wearing helmets too, bullet resistant helmets too, to protect us. So there's going to be very much like soldiers on the streets, patrolling our streets with the rate that we're going. So this is just a glimpse of my next talk as I still continue to reflect on it. It brings a lot of sadness to my heart to reflect on these things and try to make sense of the world that we live in now. But yes, to the last question here, do you believe in the media plays a role in this increase in terms of creating copycat shootings? Yeah. But the one thing about copycat shootings is that they want to achieve immortality. Some people want to be famous, but not in like a good way. As a matter of fact, I never wanted to be famous, TikTok famous. You have all sorts of weird people that, like stalk you and stuff like that, being famous, that so things that happens to celebrity. So it's the immortality thing. It's the desire to exist long after they're gone, long after and so they will act out the evilness, things that have happened in their life, and they've decided, well, since the world was unfair to me, I'm going to go and be unfair to the world, and I'm just going to take a grenade and throw it in a large setting and let everyone blow to pieces. And if I get shot by law enforcement, that's okay too. My name will be plastered in the newspaper, and that's that. So the mind is a very twisted thing when it's very twisted. But before concluding today's talk, I'd like to share something with you all about this young little kid that I met yesterday. Um, really smart. Like, I could even ascertain his age, probably like 6 or 7 years old. And this little kid was really smart. And sometimes I wear a shirt inside of this. Sometimes I will make minor changes to my robes or the colors of my robes. And this kid was able to notice every single detail about the last encounter I had with him. And I looked at the kid and I just had instant insight and I realized that of how smart now you see kids like 16, 17 years old getting their bachelor's degree. So the level of human intelligence has actually their IQ level. But what we know as holy men is that intelligence has a double-edged sword. So in one of my videos way back in the day of TikTok was that I asked everyone to promise me that no matter what happens to you in life, never join the dark side, never go evil, do evil, think evil, say evil in any way, shape, or form. Because, you know, people with such intelligence can channel that. They will make a bomb. They're so smart, they can make a bomb overnight and they will bomb everybody. One of the question in Buddhism commonality is that do gods exist? Well, yes, they sure damn do. And who are these gods? That's well, the gods are all of you actually. If you're human and you can think and you can walk and you can talk and you got arms and legs, you are a god in modern day. What does that mean? That means that anyone has the capacity to make a bomb and throw it in the middle of a mall as I'm walking through it, or anyone else is walking through it. So without morality and ethics, I'm telling you, it's becoming more sophisticated for evil to proliferate and the prevalence of evil. And now we're getting into biological warfare and all these weird things. Is that I mean, so it don't need not be a bomb. It can be like biological warfare. They release something in the gas venting system, and then you just die. You just start fading out. You're like, oh, look, clouds in the middle of a mall, and then out you go. So yeah, it's a. I am trying my hardest as a holy man to emphasize the understanding of the teachings of the Buddha, um, all of the principles and basics, moralities and ethics. I'm trying tirelessly with very little resources on my end. It takes such a long time to cultivate monks to do what I'm doing. It just takes a lot of time for it, and it's time we don't have. And evil seems to be winning the race here. So my hope for all of you who are watching is that all of you has the potential chance, the capacity quickly after this talk to change, to look at how you're utilizing right speech. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it beneficial? Is it right? And is the timing of such speech correct? And all of you have a choice to respond either in anger or to keep noble silence when people try you. And to always choose peace in your life, as a good life equals a good death. And if you do harm to yourself or other people, it's not going to end up good for you. So, it's my hope that everyone keep this in mind and always spread this message and help me spread this message. As I feel like I am a one man by himself in this very vastly big earth. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Focus on the things that is going right in your life. You just know that there's this guy in Florida that is a monk with his right arm sticking out his robes, trying to effect change as much as possible on a very large scale. I'm doing the best I can. So may you all be well, be happy, be healthy, and until the very next time.